Welcome to the Mount Airy Museum of Regional History, where we collect, preserve, and interpret the natural, historic, and artistic heritage of our region. I'm Matt Edwards, Executive Director, and I'm here with you today to share one of the many stories available here in the museum. Today, we'll be learning about the Mount Airy Raceway. The owner of the Mount Airy Speedway eyed the visitor calmly. He wasn't liking the proposal he was hearing, and said so. The stranger left without the deal that he'd shown up wanting, and A.G. Golding went back to his farming, bootlegging, and racetrack owning on his own term. The Mount Airy Speedway was one of several tracks that had sprung up after the passage of the 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, a misguided effort to keep people from drinking liquor. North Carolina was the first state to ban alcohol sales, production, importation, and transportation in 1908. Everyone knows NASCAR grew out of moonshiners challenging each other to race their souped-up liquor delivery vehicles on the weekends. By the 1940s, Big Bill France Sr., a car driver and promoter from Daytona, organized the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing in 1948. And one of the stops he made was in Surry County at the 3/4-mile flat dirt oval outside of town. And according to local legend, he left with his hat in his hand. Dad didn't want that, H.W. Golding said in an interview. He didn't want somebody from out of town coming in and telling people what they could and couldn't do there. The fiercely independent farmer, track owner, moonshiner, and bootlegger went back to what his family had done for years, farming and making moonshine. France got revenge on the people and the tracks that didn't want to bow to the NASCAR organization, however. He started a system that penalized drivers who ran at non-NASCAR tracks, and eventually did cause the drop-off of good drivers for local events. Several tracks were run out of business. The Mount Airy Speedway closed in 1949. The racing bug didn't go away though. H.W. later opened up the Thunder Road Museum, a mile and a half from the old racetrack. They've had open houses and racers reunions there. A roadside marker denotes the location of the old speedway and highlights the area's deeply rooted racing heritage, recalling the days when drivers came from across the country to race on our track. Records are scarce, but it's said some of the greats raced there. Fireball Roberts ran his first race in Mount Airy. Local folks certainly followed the sport avidly, as evidenced by the amount of space local papers gave to stories about the friendly rivalry between Kannapolis's Ralph Earnhardt and Wilkesboro's Junior Johnson. They also followed the less than friendly rivalry between Johnson and Lee Petty. Most of the early independent tracks are now gone, either being turned into farmland or parking lots. But there was a time not so long ago they were full of the sounds of revving engines and crowds hungry for excitement. With the expected return of the Wilkesboro Speedway, the focus of the sports world will soon turn back to this area as they reactivate that historic track. That could have been here, but in Surry County we have a long history of not appreciating being told what to do by outsiders. Thanks for being with us today for this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Come visit us at the Mount Airy Museum of Regional History. We've got tons more stories where that one came from. Check us out on social media, and remember, we are living history.